Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. For today's project, I'm making a bespoke diagonal two-tone box. It holds this chocolate bomb I had in my store cupboard. You simply drop the bomb into a cup of hot milk and then it will make you hot chocolate, and there are little mini marshmallows hidden inside. So I went with the theme of the box, which is purple hues. So I used Blackberry Bliss and a new freesia, which is a 2021 to 2023 in colour. The stamp set I'm using is Nothing's Better Than the Flowers and Leaves Punch, which is on page 78 of the annual catalogue. And it's available as a bundle with this stamp set called Flowers of Friendship. You need a 6 3/4 inch by 6 3/4 inch piece of Blackberry Bliss, and the same again in fresh freesia. In metric that measures 17.1 by 17.1. You also need scraps of Blackberry Bliss to cut out the flower for up here, and a scrap of soft succulent to punch out the leaves, and also a scrap of basic white to stamp and cut the sentiment. Blackberry Bliss and soft suede ink and rhinestone jewels. I do it on the lighter piece of cardstock because you can see it better, but you repeat the same scoring for the darker piece in Blackberry Bliss. What I did to create the bespoke box was simply plop that on, and I can see that I need to score it at 2 1/4 inches. So I scored it at 2 1/4 inches on all 4 sides just by rotating the cardstock clockwise. Repeat for the Blackberry Bliss. The darker shade is the box base, so I'm going to score on all 4 sides and do the same for this one as well. So I'm just going to cut either side of the score line. I want straight edges, not mitered ones. I'll repeat for the opposite side. And snip off the ends. Now you see where these flaps are. Okay, so you want to twist it so that the cuts are on the horizontal side. Bring back my stylus, and I'm just going to score at 1 1/8, which is halfway. 1 1/8 down to the bottom, and 1 1/8, and then on the opposite side do the same. 1 1/8. Run the stylus down at 1 1/8 and score from the bottom on that panel at 1 1/8. I just realised just now that I'd used my ribbon scissors instead of my paper scissors. So you want to cut these halves off, okay? And that's so that you don't have the bulk when you're gluing your box together. So this flap here and this flap here is the front and back of your box. You want to put glue on the sides. Make an angle snip at the top, like so. Glue that together. Do the same for this side. Forgot to mite at the top. You can bring your scoreboard back in, and when you put this together, if you put it against your scoreboard at the right angle, you can make sure that it's glued at right angles and keep the box shape. So that's your box base done. The lid is done a little bit differently. Again, you want to cut straight up as close to the indentation of the score line. You just want to take that out, so it's just a very narrow sliver. Fold it back and take those bits off. Okay. To make your diagonal cut, you're wanting to do away with this bit here. So you don't want those bits. So you cut away this square. So that's what it should look like next. Now you want to cut diagonally. That will go inside the box, and you want to cut it diagonally so it has to run from this corner up to that corner. Okay, so put your cardstock in the trimmer and line it up at that point and at that point up there. And you want that to go in the same direction, so you do that for the opposite corner. You've got to make sure that that's really accurate. So now that looks like a rocket. You need to do your stamping first. This is the top and that's the front of the box. So let's do our stamping. So I'm going to fold that piece back because I don't want anything on the side. Bring in our Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to stamp there. Then I want to stamp cookies in the top corner. Next I want to stamp my cup of coffee right down the bottom here. Stamp the steam coming out of it. Next I want to stamp chocolate, so I'm going to go as far up as I can, but at the same angle as the cookies. Just stamp the chocolate, stamp this little star randomly here. Come in with my filler, which is this in soft suede, and I'll stamp it here, and also the biscuit. Last sentiment to do is kind of day. Trim that down. So I'm going to punch out the little flower. Oops, missed it. A small leaf and a bigger leaf. So I'm just going to put that flower in the palm of my hand and use the stub of the pen just to pop the petals. Do the same for this one. Use glue dots to attach that to the smaller flower and stagger the petals to make it look fuller. This one I will put a dimensional and pop those up again. Next I'm going to put double-sided tape inside here. I don't want the glue to seep out. I want to establish which is the front. Put that right on the edge, flush with the top of the box. I'll just start this off and just pull this tab up to release it once the rest of the lid is glued. I want to put adhesive on the bottom here and the sides. Pop that in, glue that down. Then I can release this, fold it back and crease it. Make sure that's down properly. Now I want to put glue on this panel here in the front, not on the sides. I'm just going to cut that by hand, so roughly halfway. Make sure there's adhesive right on the edges. Shut the box, wrap that round like so, and then pop that down. And because it's the lid over the base, you might have to make adjustments, so that's why it's best to put the glue on the front tab. Add your rhinestones, glue dots, glue dot on the front of the leaf. I want to tuck my sentiment in. It's going to be at an angle like that, so I want to allow enough length there to adhere it to the underside of the flower. So glue dot there. Snip it in the middle and then toward the inside to make your flag end. Lastly, add a rhinestone to the centre of the flower. Pop your chocolate bomb in and shut the lid. And there you have it, a bespoke box for your chocolate bomb. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. You'll find the list of supplies below this video in the Show More section. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. If you want to read more about this project, then hop over to my blog at www.stampwithelaine.com. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe so you won't miss any episodes whenever I publish. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back soon. Bye.